Hey everybody, today we're going to talk about Secret War. Hey everybody, welcome back to BK's Bullets. As always, I'm your host, Brent, and today we're going to be talking about Secret War. Not wars, Secret War. So this is a mini-series that was written by Brian Michael Bendis back in, oh gosh, I want to say it was 2003, 2002. Actually, this says 2004. Anyway, pretty early. I do remember this coming out and seeing it on the shelves, but there was a lot of delays because of mainly the beautiful artwork. I'm not going to say mainly, I don't really know. But I'm going to say it's probably because of the beautiful, gorgeous painted artwork, stylistic as hell, by Gabriel Delgado. This is the book that put him on the map, so to speak. If you've seen any of his variant covers in the years past, it's because of this book. And he hasn't really done, I don't remember him doing a bunch of interiors since then either. He did Secret War, and I really think the delays, maybe hurt him as an artist or something, or he just decided, you know what, I had fun on this book, but I really want to just do covers, and he's done covers for the last, I don't know, umpteen years or so since then. 20 years now, I guess, right? Pretty close. So I'm sure he was working on it in, 2003. So we're going to call it 20 years. But anyway, this is Secret War. This is supposed to set up Bendis' New Avengers run in some ways. It doesn't. So it takes place before the Avengers of Brian Michael Bendis, the New Avengers run, before Avengers Disassembled. And you basically have a mystery here of a secret war that took place in the Marvel Universe that, while the story is very good and the artwork is beautiful, it just doesn't live up to the title. When you have the title of Secret War, at least at this time, the only thing that was a Secret War then was the original Marvel miniseries, maxi-series, whatever you want to call it, that was tying into a toy line that had the Beyonder, where Spider-Man got his black suit. And then you had the sequel, drawn by, the first one was drawn by Mike Zeck, like legendary Marvel event, the first one that they ever had. So when you're going to call it Secret War and take the S off, you're kind of thinking of the same thing. Is it heroes versus heroes, or maybe it's not? Maybe it's a whole bunch of people versus a whole bunch. And instead of telling that story, Bendis saves it all for the last issue. It's just, it's so frustrating because there's so little of the Secret War that you see inside this book. This book is mostly about the repercussions of having a Secret War. When people find out about your Secret War and then come back to get you. That's what this book is about, not necessarily the events that happened in said Secret War. These characters all in these new costumes, everybody's got a redesigned costume. I swear to God, the only time you see them here is like on this cover and in maybe 5 pages inside the book. You can see them the best from the character designs at the end of this trade paperback, actually. And another thing about this collects Secret War 1 through 5, as well as the Files of Nick Fury, which I swear takes about, there's back matter also, but a majority of this is just text pages, like from here to here, and seems to take up the majority of the back half of this book. Because it's a lot of like secret files and reading interviews. It's kind of like a Mahatmu for that time in the Marvel Universe, as if it were written by Nick Fury. So that's a little bit interesting. But I gotta say, the artwork in here is really cool, really phenomenal. To see painted artwork at that time, nobody had really done it since, I guess, Kingdom Come, you know what I mean, with Alex Ross. And he was putting out Justice at the time, which was painted over Doug Braithwaite's pencils. He had done Earth X, Paradise X, and that was painted covers with Doug Braithwaite doing pencils on most of that. John Paul De Leon, I believe, did Earth X, but Braithwaite did Paradise and Universe X after that. So you had a little bit of painted artwork, but this was like Marvel's big thing, I guess, since Marvel's, right? You had Alex Ross did Marvel's, then he went over and did Kingdom Come, and then I think at this time he's painting Justice over Braithwaite's pencils. So this is coming out concurrently. So these were like the 2 big painted books at the time, before people started doing digital painting and things like that. This is actual oil on paper, or whatever you want to call it. This is their big villain of the piece, if you were to call it a villain. But yeah, so the plot is basically you see Nick Fury. There's two things at the same time. One of the things that I feel like Bendis does better than Tom King does, because when Bendis does it, at least, or maybe it's the editor, they're saying, hey, what timeline this is taking place? Past or today? Past or today? And literally every time there's a page turn and the scene changes timelines, or not timelines, but time frames, there's an indicator. Hey, this is yesterday, this is today. That kind of stuff, which I appreciate because it just lets you know in the back of your brain, even though you read that one word for a split second, that everything below here is taking place at this point in time in the story, right? But you see Nick Fury kind of assemble this ragtag group. You got Power Man, Daredevil, Captain America, Wolverine, Spider-Man, Black Widow, and then this is actually the debut of Daisy Johnson, or Quake. Now, regular Marvel Comics readers might not know her. She does go on to appear in, I believe it's the Secret Warriors by Hickman, and Bendis, I think, helped out on the first arc of that. But you probably know her more from the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. show. That is the character that, Chloe, it's not Chloe Grace, anyway. Different actress, sorry. But that is the main character of that show, Daisy Johnson, at least when you got to know her real name, right? So she's in here with her superpowers, that kind of stuff, and they're going around and collecting this group of heroes to go basically take down the government of Latveria, because it's discovered that Latveria, not Doctor Doom, because Doctor Doom was dead at this time. A lot of history going on in here. Anyway, somebody else is ruling Latveria, and they are funding all of the techno-villains of the Marvel Universe. People like Hobgoblin, Pumpkin Goblin, Grim Reaper, Tornado, not Tornado, what's that guy's name? Whiplash, the Iron Man Tornado guy, I forget his, Whirlwind, I think is his name. The new Dr. Octopus at the time, which was a female one, which I don't remember there being that before seeing, like, Into the Spider-Verse, but oh well. So anyway, they're saying this is like an act of terrorism because these guys are on U.S. soil committing crimes, and there's another government backing it. So Nick Fury tells the U.S. government, and they're like, leave it alone, we're fine. We'll let the heroes deal with these guys. And Nick Fury's like, no, I'm going to stop this before it happens again. And it's kind of a callback at that time to the events of 9/11. Like, this is the post 9/11 world. I mean, we're 20 plus years removed from it right now, but I remember being in high school and early college when this was coming out. Long time ago. And definitely everything was referencing indirectly or directly 9/11. And knowing when this came out and reading Fury's words here, I know that he's referencing 9/11 because that was a real thing that happened in the Marvel Universe. You had the JMS issue, I believe it was Amazing Spider-Man 36, the black cover with John Romita Jr. on art, where they had those events happen in the Marvel Universe, which is a haunting issue at that time. So yeah, those things happened in this world, and the Secret War definitely leverages that in order to go after these villains and things like that. So anyway, they go and do a mission. You don't really know what it is until the last issue, and then, like I said, the majority of the book is actually taking place in the present day of the story, where you have the heroes getting attacked by villains, and they don't know why, and there's, they're calling them out on the heroes with, you know what you did, that kind of thing, and all the heroes are going, I don't remember, and it turns out Fury drugged them, and the past is coming back to haunt them. So the final issue is this big fight on, I guess, Stryker's Island or something, where the X-Men show up, Daredevil's there, Captain America, and they're all yelling at Fury, saying, tell us what happened, and then he finally tells you what happened in 12 pages of story after the big battle that they had fought on Stryker's Island. So it's a little disingenuous to call this Secret War. It should be called Secret Revelations or something like that, because you don't really see much of the war, to be honest. So that's a bummer. The other thing this does, which was kind of weird at the time, is that Nick Fury disappeared into the ether, and this is the reason for his disappearance. This is in continuity, at least it was at the time, because all of a sudden you're reading New Avengers, and Maria Hill was the head of S.H.I.E.L.D., not Nick Fury. Nick Fury disappears in the last couple of pages here. It says, you know what, I'll disappear. I'll step back from the stage. You guys can just go on without me, you know, because he felt so bad about what he did in this book. So that had happened in the book, but this book was delayed. So you had the new head of S.H.I.E.L.D. appear in Marvel Comics, and nobody knew what had happened yet because the book hadn't come out. So that was a little weird. And then it's fine, like reading this book, you're not going to know about it. I'm just remembering things, reading books at the time, people going like, oh, yeah, this is a new head of S.H.I.E.L.D. We don't know what happened to Nick Fury, but just know it's going to happen in Secret War #5, which is going to come out sometime soon. Like, this book took a long time to come out. But it paid off. I mean, the artwork is beautiful, and in this nice collected trade paperback, it's a wonderful thing to look at and thing to read. So congrats to Bendis and Gabriel Deodato for putting this together. So, Secret War, I do recommend it, although I will say the title is misleading. It's not really a Secret War book. It's a Revelations book, you know what I mean? Hell, you could call this one Original Sin, and it might be a better title for this than that book that we've reviewed here on the channel before also. So, let me know what you guys think of Secret War. Does it deserve some more hype or some more praise, or should be downplayed more? Let me know what you guys think down below in the comments, and we'll see you guys next time in the Funny Pages.